welcome back everybody. It's time to talk about the only lyrical deck that I really keep up with, which is Magnolia Phantom. This deck's super cool. It just reminds me of playing regular Magnolia, but with a lot of extra bouncing around and stuff like that, and grave recursion. Uh, and yeah, we got an insane new card, and I would like to. We're probably going to talk about the new card first and how that changes the entire scope of the deck. So first, let me just get the ride line out of the way really quick, in case anyone's not familiar. Little guy, little guy, little guy, and Magnolia Phantom. Again, nothing crazy there. Let's pull out the new card because the new card does greatly change the deck. So the new card is called Uniceris, which is an interesting name. So it's got two abilities. The first is when you ride a Magnolia Grade 3, you get to call this back from the drop zone if you don't have another copy of it on your board, which is really nice. And then it has a back row center ability. So this you will always be boosting with this instead of attacking, which is at the end of a battle that it boosted, you put it to soul, and you perform an effect depending on what your Vanguard's grade is. So if you're a grade 3, you energy charge 1 and you give one of your rear cards plus 5 until end of turn. But if you're at grade 4, you energy charge 2 and give one of your rear guards plus 10. It's a really nice buff because it feels like a lot of the time you're missing out on an extra copy of Soul. So having a free Soul is always really nice, uh, especially because where is it, the other grade 2, this one, uh, this was kind of your only way to put cards in Soul beforehand. So it really helps with like the consistency of the deck, but it also helps you push extra extra numbers, and the extra energy that you can generate can get you back to either energy blasting 7 to draw one if you desperately need it, or to use your other effects like this grade 2 or the Alpin. So it's a really like welcome addition to the deck overall. Very excited that it exists. uh, Now that we've talked about that, we can talk about the rest of the deck because it will change some ratios, and I'm going to explain those as we go along. For of course, we're playing the Persona rides and the Twin Cast. Not a lot to say on that, and our order count has not changed. We are playing 4 moons, and we're playing 4 mates with you. Yes, I did upgrade the moons for this deck because I like this deck a lot. It's so much fun. It's one of those like I don't know how to put it. It's like when people were excited to mess around with Ava when it got like its new pieces, how it like deck thins really good and puts out all sorts of pressure. This feels kind of similar to that, and it's really cool. Um, the grade 2 count, this is where you'll see some of our ratios have changed a bit. So we are playing 4 copies of Diusha, I believe it's pronounced. Uh, 3 copies of Simless. I think I was playing 3 copies of this last time. If I wasn't, 3 is a good number. 2 copies of Alpin. Before we played 4 Alpin because we didn't have anything else, but now we've cut it down to 2, which is perfectly fine because we had to make some space. Speaking of making space, we are only playing 3 of the Valshablan. So the thing is, we do need moons in this deck, but we don't desperately need moons, if that makes sense. Like we can see them at sort of uh, a pacing. We don't need to find them all super quickly. Something like Alphard, right? Uh, when we see them, we perform Phantom Skill, and it does not like horribly hurt us. So 3 copies of it is perfectly fine. Uh, Again, we did have to make space for that card because that card is broken. And then 2 copies of Taru. We used to play 3. You don't really need 3 copies of it anymore. It just not that the card is bad, but the other cards kind of take more precedence over this card. And then 4 perfect cards. There was a new grade 1 that also came out with her, which was it was like a defensing roar, but for the Ladia mates. If you can find a way to fit that in, go for it. I think this card is too good to drop from 4, but you could cut one copy to play an extra copy of that. But that's just my personal opinion. On to the triggers. We're playing the OT that buffs our whole board. We're still playing 8 crits. We're playing 3 fronts, and we're playing 4 heals. You gotta remember to love your cat. Uh, but yeah, the trigger count has not changed at all. I think this is still the best OT to play in the deck. I know some people are like, oh, you play red OT or you play like blue OT so you can do some grinding and stuff, but like hitting this kind of like this puts your opponent on a clock, if that makes sense. Like when you flip red OT in this deck, you pressure your opponent for like a turn, and then the rest of it they're just kind of like back to normal. Whereas this puts them like, hey, you've got to figure out how to deal with me because I'm a very defensive deck and I will just keep tanking everything you have until you have nothing in hand. So I think it's worth still playing this, but that's just my personal opinion on that. And that is it for this profile. I didn't want to keep this one super long because the deck the deck has changed tremendously because of that new card, but it it's has not changed enough that like it warrants like a huge deep discussion. Just kind of talking about the ratios to run it at. Obviously, anything like you want to change from this deck, I highly like recommend you do. Like if you're like, hey, I think I could get away with one copy of Alpin and I want to play a fourth copy of El Shablan, go for it. Do it. Honestly, nothing wrong with that. But this is kind of where I feel the most comfortable with the deck at the ratios. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.